go. Welcome back to the podcast. Mark, how you doing, mate? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's not been a good one, mate. I'm just going to go straight in on it.
Hang on. Before we go all serious here, there was a good weekend, right? Last weekend, it will be.
Yeah.
It was good. We went to watch Posh at Wembley, lifting the cup, our partners as well, now on the podcast.
Yeah, come on, let's start with some positive news, absolutely.
Let's do a shit sandwich here, Mark. Let's start positive. Let's put the shit in the middle, and then we'll end.
All right. Let's do that. Well, of course, I'm a Norwich City supporter. You're a Liverpool supporter. Yeah, why would we not want to jump on the bandwagon and sort of piggyback on the success of our local club, Peterborough United? But not just our local club, our partner as well. And we've done a bit of work with them this week or in the past week, which I'm quite proud of.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we went out, didn't we? We went out and spoke to a load of men about weight loss. So, great doing things like that. It's really, I love it. We're not the experts. Look, we say that as well, don't we? We've just had our own journeys, I think, is important.
And it's just about sparking a conversation more than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, mate. And I think that's really good. And then to go from that on a Thursday, I think it was, to Wembley on a Sunday with the kids and watching them, dominate that game as well and win it 2-0 at Wembley. Fantastic. Great memory.
What a free kick. Let's talk about that. That free kick, unbelievable.
It was like recently in football, like the Declan Rice free kicks against Real Madrid a couple of weeks ago. Fantastic. And again on Sunday, like you say, brilliant free kick off the crossbar into the back of the net. The keeper, no keeper saves them, do they?
No, that kid was 19 as well. Harley Mills, just give him the credit, like, brushed the captain to one side, said, no, I'm having this. Everyone's expecting to loop it into the near post, and he goes into the far corner. It's honestly one of the best free kicks I've seen. And I'm not just saying that. It's especially as a game that I've been to in person, one of the best free kicks I've seen. Absolutely incredible.
But there's other players as well, because I was actually looking at this for Posh, our local team. They're a really young team. Most of their players are under 25. They're developing, and quite a few of them are coming through from the ranks as well, from the academy.
Like Harley Mills,
him. So Mills, Donnelly as well, mate. I take the kids probably once a month at least to try and watch Posh. I love it when clubs are growing that talent and bringing them through. Like, as a Liverpool fan, I know Trent's probably going to leave Liverpool, and I get it. I'm not actually angry with him. I think we should be saying to him, thank you. There's probably going to be 2 Premier Leagues. There's a Champions League that he's won with us. He's homegrown. It's a shame we're not going to get some money for him. But to be fair to him, do you know what? He's done well for the club. We should be thanking him for that.
Yeah, he's done everything for him, hasn't he? So,
exactly, mate. And as hard as it is to see him go, he goes. But I love it when clubs get that homemade talent coming through. And I think, Mills, Donnelly and a few others in the Peterborough setup, they're probably going to move on to bigger clubs at some point.
Yeah. Norwich are in for one of them, actually, Manuel Fernandez. We had a bid accepted in January, but we couldn't get the deal done, and so I think we're coming back in for him in the summer. So
solid centre back, mate. I've really enjoyed watching him play as well. And I actually said to my kids, he's probably one of my favourite players. So him and Donnelly in the defence, massive. And then going forward. But I love the fact that a lot of the Posh players are young, and I think Fergie, Peterborough don't have a massive budget, mate, do they? Let's be honest, they're not a big club. It'd be really nice to see more Posh fans in the stadium at the weekends and stuff. Like that's why I'm trying to get the kids into it. It's important for me. My kids support Arsenal and City, but let's be honest, mate, getting a season ticket for them, I think there's a 12-year waiting list for Arsenal at the moment. But they could be Peterborough fans as well.
Yeah, and they probably will be. And I think you really develop that love for it when you're a teenager, and then you get to go to games yourself and go with your mates, and you can't beat that. Yeah. Right, I think we're pushing this off as much as we can, Darren. We need to really face up to the things.
So, mate, my week is shit. At Wembley, we had a McDonald's. We're away this week. So in terms of food, mate, it's wank, to be honest.
Let's just make it abundantly clear to everyone, we've both fallen off the wagon. We're all trying our best on this week, we're all trying our best on our weight loss journey, but we all have this moment where we just say, fuck it, and you fall off the wagon. And sometimes that can be a day or so. It's been about a week, probably maybe even 10 days. But I think the most important thing is we've done this podcast to keep ourselves accountable. And so I said to you the other day, it's important we just face up to this. Let's not try and hide from it. Let's not try and paint ourselves as being whiter than white. We're not. We're 2 regular blokes that have lost a lot of weight. and we want to talk about the subject and all the things that come with it, warts and all, the good bits, the bad bits. And unfortunately, it's not been good this week. I mean, I've had some food I've enjoyed, but and I've had a few drinks, but it's not really helped the weight loss effort in any way whatsoever.
Thing is, mate, as well, like, sorry to cut in there, but like when you say like, oh, it's food I've enjoyed, yeah, like, look, so, you know, bit of context here. So I'm currently away. I mean, I'm recording in my, I'm going to make it sound really posh here, my holiday home. It's not a fucking holiday home. It's a static caravan that my mum and dad own. But look, we're away in a holiday home at the moment with the kids. It's Easter half term. And I went shopping when we got here, spent 150. And to be honest, mate, 85% of what I bought was crap. It was, you know, bite-sized Snickers bars, that sort of stuff. It was now a Lidl shop. So, you know, loads of crap, to be honest, mate. And we've covered holidays before. Part of me thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm on holiday. But at the same time, mate, you say it makes you feel good. I said to my wife on the way back to record this today, we went and did a bit of shopping for the kids, clothes-wise. I said to her on the way back, I feel exhausted. I feel like shit. I feel knackered. I wouldn't say I feel ill. That would be going too far, but I just got no energy. And I think that's 4 days of eating crap.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy it anymore. I'll be honest, mate. Like, when I cook a healthy meal, I do really enjoy it. I don't know why going for the crap option feels so much easier.
Yeah. I think it's that short-term dopamine hit, isn't it? And so, like, coming back at Wembley, had a few beers, a couple of beers on the train, and had a pint in the ground and that. And I just kind of like relax things a bit. But then sort of after the game, all very celebratory and everything. And then I just remember being in Five Guys at King's Cross, absolutely rammed full of posh fans and everything. And at that moment in time, enjoyed my burger. But then, on the train home and everything, feel like, bloated and thinking, was this really worth it? But then still struggling to find, like, I need to get back into the game and everything. I'd like to say yesterday, I officially got back in the game and seemed to be sort of like, haven't fell off the train since, if that makes sense. But it's so easily done, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was one thing that I was going to talk about as well, and mate, this is a mindset thing. There's no two ways about it. So I've lost my main chunk of my weight, and now I've had a break from it, and I'm now trying to get back on it to continue that journey. And someone said to me the other day, he goes, "It's the second time round is so much harder." What do you reckon on that?
Yeah, kind of the same, mate. So, you know, I've leveled out for a while, and in recent weeks I've started putting on, and I know that because we play Man v Fat, we get weighed. So, you know, I don't weigh myself. Trying to get my head back to where I was in terms of food, it is really hard. It is really tough, but I think the reason for that, mate, is because I think Rob Dunn said this on his podcast, and it really resonated with me, is momentum builds momentum. So when you were on it that first time round, you had lots of momentum. So your wheels were really moving. So think about a car starting from nothing. You parked and then you start driving. You don't just go from 0 to 100. You start pulling off the drive. And that's what I think the diet needs to do. You know, you need to start building that momentum to get that speed going. And as you move forward, once you've been doing it a month, 6 months, that's where you're going fast. You've got some good momentum. You're getting good results. You're in it. Problem is, if you come to a stop, you feel that being at your top speed, but you've got to get that momentum going. And that's why I think it's hard, because you want to be back to where you were mid-flow. You want to be back at top speed. So I don't know about you, but I'm thinking to myself now, look, Darren, what's important? Is it Monday? Right, so let's get Monday done. And then let's get to Friday. Then let's get to week 2. And how are you eating? What are you going to eat? You know, how are you going to do this? What exercise? Because, mate, I'm not doing enough. I'm playing football at the moment once, twice a week. I've got 2 matches at the Posh Stadium in May that I'd like to be a bit fitter for, because it's a big pitch compared to what we're used to, is 6 or 7 aside. Do you know what I mean? So maybe I need to get out and start doing couch to 5K. I've been talking about doing it for a year and I haven't fucking done it yet. So, yeah, I think that momentum is key, mate. And it sounds like you've got day 1 of your momentum under your belt already.
Yeah. I was just going back to sort of like that point of it being second time, and the lady I was talking to, what she said, and that kind of stuck out. I was like, you've experienced freedom. It kind of made me laugh, and I kind of then reflected on it and go, well, you know what? Yeah. And I think the thing for me was, it's not I've lost 4.5 stone. So there's almost an arrogance in my mindset that like, well, you've done it already, so you can do it again. And if you just have this little wobble now, then fuck it, you're still going to do it because you've done it before. And whereas that first time around, you're not quite measuring yourself against anything, so you just kind of plow on, I think. And so, yeah, it's also, there's other things that just make, again, I think for me, is particularly in what I'm doing like I said, because I'm getting into ketosis by doing this. Those first few days are fucking hard. And there is a moment of me, and there's this point, I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, can I really go through this? Am I going to have to put up with the sort of like dodgy sleep for a couple of nights and headaches? And, do I really, really want to put myself through this again? But really, I just got to remind myself, get through it. Because when you get out the other side, you feel energized. When those ketones start flying around, you feel so much more energized. You feel so much better about yourself. And then you're in the groove. And if you're in the groove, it then becomes a piece of piss. And it is just getting that gear working. But by having that fuck it moment and falling off the wagon, you're putting yourself back to square one again. And so I think it's probably a bit more nuanced with what I'm doing as such, with like a sort of like this more specialist diet. But yeah, it's hard, and I think you've just got to try and stop the mind fuck, I guess. This is probably the way. And like I said, there is probably that arrogance in your head, isn't there, thinking that you've done it again, you can just do it again, and it's easy, isn't it?
But you can. There is some truth to that. You can do it. So there, I don't think it is arrogance because you've done it. Like it's not like you're sat there having never walked this journey, going, "Well, I could do that because I'm better than that." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not. You've done it, and you've got those experiences to look back on. But you've got to recognise the hard work that you put in to get there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where that arrogance comes from, is because you put in that work, you achieved it, and then once you achieved it, you almost think, oh, it wasn't that hard in the end.
You don't remember the hard work.
No, that's probably a good way of describing it. I went on I'll give you an example, and I spoke about when I went on the Football Drop podcast as a guest a couple of weeks back, and my first day on the Cambridge weight plan, was Blake's birthday party. So Blake, my eldest, it was his birthday party, and we got the biggest, fattest cream cake you've ever seen. And I'm there at the party, and I'm dishing up all the food and everything, and I'm dishing up these pieces of this creamy cake, and I've got cream all over my fingers. And I didn't even lick the cream off my fingers because I was that determined to be that to like not throw myself off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, and you've got to get back to that. You've got to, like we both do, mate. Because I feel the same. Like, at the moment, I'm thinking nothing of just getting into that biscuit barrel and having 2 or 3 biscuits. And ultimately, mate, it's that's what's going to fuck me. That's what's going to mean when I weigh in on that Sunday night. For me now, it's a gain and not a loss. And that over 12 weeks, 24 weeks, 52 weeks, whatever, is ultimately what's going to make all the difference. And I think it's not just about the food as well. Like, we need to take a bit of accountability over moving and stuff as well if you want to get the best possible results.
Yeah.
I really am thinking about, I've got a fair amount going on at the moment, but as soon as I can, I want to get back into the gym. I want to find some time for the gym and stop making excuses around that, because I think that's going to be big. In the past, when I've been going to the gym and working out properly, like pushing myself in there as hard as I can, I've not wanted to eat badly because I know how much that's going to affect.
Undo the hard work almost, don't you?
Yeah. Whereas I feel like with football, you can get away with it a little bit more because you're not. You just might not be tracking back. You might not be quite as active. You might just sub yourself off. Whereas at the gym, if you've got an hour and you're pushing weights, or you're working your ass off doing burpees or whatever, there's no hiding from that. You're doing it. So, yeah. But, mate, I think, I think momentum builds momentum is, for me, the key here. And we both need to do that.
Yeah.
And that will affect others around us as well, ultimately.
Yeah, I just thought as well, it's not the reason I've had that fuck it moment this time, but this has been like this in the past, and it's fucking ridiculous. I've even got into that mindset, was I lost a lot of weight one week, and I thought, well, I've done well here, I deserve a treat. And it's just like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
This is totally the wrong way to go about it, but like I said,
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird because I almost feel like that's built into us a little bit. Like, yeah. I wonder whether there's something there. Like, do you know, like when you're a kid and you eat all your dinner, therefore you get a pudding? It doesn't make any sense. You've just filled yourself. I still like it now, to be fair, mate. But it's those sort of weird ways in which we think, which almost comes from those bad habits.
Yeah.
Like, well,
you don't eat your dinner, then you're not having your dessert. And so I've eaten all my dinner, so I'm going to eat dessert. And it's just like, that's the reward for, it's just, in adult life, it's bonkers, really. And it's just like 9 times out of 10, I don't eat dessert now. I don't know about you. I don't even have a yogurt. That used to be a thing when I was younger. Was like I'd have something. I'd also have a yogurt or something if I'm not having a proper dessert, so to speak.
Yeah, I still do it quite a lot, mate, to be honest, with desserts. And we do. Like, the kids love a pudding, but it's almost like now, like if they have dinner, it's like, what's for pudding? It's like expected.
Yeah, that's the question I get off my kids all the time. What's for dessert? You didn't eat your fucking dinner, mate.
Nah, that's it, mate. But look, we said we were going to end the podcast back on a positive, so you're back on the Cambridge weight plan now, are you?
Yes, mate. Yes, I am. I went and saw George, my diet consultant, who was a great guest for us back in December, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And she gave me a bit of a stern telling off.
Why did you leave?
No, just about sort of like the weight gain and that. But she goes, well, if you feel like you're on, why didn't you come and see me soon? And like I said, I said, just to context as well.
How much is that setting you back, the Cambridge weight plan?
So on the level I'm doing, it's costing me about 60 quid a week, which when I say it like that sounds expensive. But the way it is, though, is I'm spending less money on beers at the pub, less money on takeaways, less money on meal deals, on lunches and shit like that, and coffees when I go out and about.
Does that include some of your food as well? Do you get some food?
Yeah. And so I have 3 Cambridge weight plan products in a day and then a carb-free meal in the evening. But like I said, spending less money on like wider food because I'm not eating during the day. I'm not eating breakfast and lunch. Obviously, I'm still sort of doing it for the kids and the family and everything else. But yeah, so I'm back into the flow of things now. And the first few days are hard, but again, got to bite down on the gum shield and just fight my way through this first week. And again, get to that point, and then
you got to build that momentum, mate.
Yeah, and like I said, this is what this podcast is here. It's to provide that bit of accountability for ourselves. And like I said, I thought it was really important that we have this conversation, Darren, and acknowledge, we're human as well. Like I said, we've never professed to be the weight loss experts. We're just here to talk about it. And I think a key thing for the podcast is that we do keep this relatable, and people see that we're real blokes like anyone listening to this. Yeah.
Well, let's update everyone in a few weeks' time as to how we're doing.
Yeah.
But let's try and get on it this week, man. And we'll catch up with everyone soon and let them know what we've done and how it's gone.
Yeah. Sounds good, mate.
All right.
Awesome. See you on the next episode.